I'm always looking to upgrade my home, so I thought I'd make this video about affordable upgrades and DIYs that can elevate your home, including the ones that have made the biggest impact on my home and my life. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Before we get into specific upgrades, let's go over the factors that may impact which upgrades you make to your home. Before upgrading an item, feature, or space, it is helpful to consider the following factors. 1. Are you a renter or a homeowner? Each one comes with its own limitations. Number 2. What is the length of time you plan to be in your home? If this is your forever home, you may make a different decision than someone who is relocating in a year. Number 3, what is your budget? Number 4, how much time do you have and how much time will this upgrade require? Number 5, what is your DIY skill level? Can you do this yourself or do you need help? If you need to hire a professional, it could impact your budget. And number 6, how much impact will this change or upgrade have on your life? These factors are personal and individual, and they will determine which upgrades make sense for you. This is a list of the upgrades that I have made in my home that have delivered the biggest impact. I'll link as many of these items and supplies for you in the captions and my Amazon storefront in the event that you want to make similar upgrades. I live in an old building. When I moved in, my shower head and sink faucets had seen better days. When my kitchen sink faucet started to leak, I called my super and he confirmed the faucet needed to be replaced. I seized the opportunity to upgrade from a standard faucet to a faucet with a pull-out sprayer. He told me the brand, the measurements, and the budget, and I submitted an option and he replaced my old one with a new and improved version for free. I use this sink every day, many times a day. This sink takes a beating. Having the new faucet has changed how I clean. I no longer have to fill a cup of water to rinse the sides of the sink. I still don't love cleaning and washing, but the sprayer has made it much more pleasant. In the same vein as the sink faucet, I also upgraded my shower head from one that was practically an antique to a shower head and handheld option. I found one on Amazon and for like $40, and with the help of my dad in about 10 minutes, I've been having a spa-like shower experience every day for years. This shower head has had a huge impact on my life, and I don't even use all the features. Not only is showering more enjoyable, but cleaning is easier, and it has been a game changer for bathing Coco. Before the new shower head was installed, I ran the tub faucet, which had the water pressure of Niagara Falls, and I used it to fill up old takeout containers with water, which I dumped over her. Now I utilize the handheld piece, which has a much more calming spray, and it allows me better control of the water for a cleaner Coco. It feels like we're in the 21st century. These two upgrades have made a big impact on our lives. Maybe a smart tap is the way you would upgrade your faucet. Upgrades are personal, and only you can determine what upgrade makes sense for you, your situation, and your home. Another upgrade I've made that I highly recommend is changing out your light fixtures, adding more lights, and swapping out your bulbs. Upgrade your overhead lighting with a fixture that is something more modern, more your style, more in line with the style of your home, or that provides more light. Over time, I have removed all of the mid-century 2-bulb flush mount ceiling lights in my apartment and replaced them with larger fixtures that provide more light. I sourced my fixtures from Anthropologie, Amazon, and Facebook Marketplace, and I paid my super to install them. My super told me that my old flush mounts are not installed anymore, and if I move out, he will install more contemporary overhead lights, so I do not need to hold on to the old fixtures. In the case of the first 2 upgrades, faucets and lighting, you use both of them every day, and upgrading them will change the way you experience your home. As a renter, I chose to invest in overhead lights for the big impact this upgrade would have on my life, but also because I plan to take them with me if I move. For me, those 2 factors combined equals high return on my investment. If you are a homeowner and upgrading your light fixtures, you may find this investment will increase the value of your home. You may want to add light fixtures to your space. I added a pendant light in my living room. Since there was no hard wiring, I switched the light from a hard wire to a plug-in with a very long cord. The new old pendant light, plus an anchor, some peel and stick cord covers, and a ceiling medallion, and now I have an intentional dining and workspace area. I also added art lights and several floor and table lamps. In my bathroom, I swapped out the wall light that was giving hospital operation room for one that felt more like me. Again, my super did the installation and told me he would replace that old light if I moved out, so there was no need to keep it. You may start to notice a theme here. I have a good relationship with my super and my landlord, which has provided me with opportunities to make changes to my home. I frequently ask my super about the changes I'm making to my space and get approval before doing so. Okay, let's say you cannot switch out your light fixtures. Try switching out the bulbs for something cooler looking or warmer feeling. Sometimes adding an interesting light bulb can give an old fixture new life. You can also try switching out the cool-toned light bulbs to dimmable bulbs in a warmer tone, which can take your space from corporate office vibes to cozy and comfortable. When you upgrade your standard bulbs to dimmable bulbs, you will also need to upgrade your light switch to a dimmable switch. So while we are upgrading your single toggle light switch to a dimmer switch, take the opportunity to upgrade your switch and wall plates. Before you upgrade, consider cleaning your current plates or painting them. If you have the budget and you want to make a more dramatic upgrade, there are a lot of options you can buy or DIY to personalize and reflect your style. You can also upgrade your wall plates and outlet covers. These are all easy upgrades that you can probably do on your own in a few minutes. Light switches, switch and wall plates, and outlet covers are the little details around your home that often get ignored. But once you have replaced the landlord special or builder grade options with one that is truly special, unique, or cool, it will change the way you interact and feel about flicking a switch. Along the line of switch plates and outlet covers, another home upgrade that gives you a big bang for your buck is changing out your hardware. When I say hardware, I'm referring to drawer pulls, drawer knobs, doorknobs, wall hooks, door knockers, and towel racks. We are back in my bathroom, and I'm going to show you how a little hardware can upgrade just your standard vanity. So this vanity has gone through 2 little upgrades already. I painted it twice, and I was thinking of doing some kind of like wood like paint, or maybe even just painting it brown. However, it's not the nicest quality, so I don't know that I want to highlight it by making it brown, and keeping it gray makes it kind of fade away. However, this vanity has very inexpensive knobs, and I'm going to replace them with some that I got over the weekend at an estate sale. So here's my little haul, which I was planning on showing you guys in a separate video, but I was able to get a bunch of different knobs and pulls. Here are a few that I have cleaned and just put together. I'm going to sell most of these, I think, but these are the ones that I'm going to put on this vanity just to give it a little upgrade. So this is a very easy project. You just slide these off, unscrew them and slide them off. And then I'm going to put the new ones on. I'm going to keep these because if I move, I'm taking my hardware with me. This is a really important factor when I think about upgrading, is that I want to be able to take whatever I invested in the apartment with me, because it does not benefit me to leave it behind. Okay, now we do have one small problem. So this is loose and there is no backing. I went to the hardware store and they told me that I wouldn't be able to get a nut that fit on the back, and that they really should remove this piece and make it more like this one, where the screw goes into the knob as opposed to the way that this one is set up here. But for the purpose of this video, and honestly, it's just a little life hack, I think I'm going to see if I can tie like a little rubber band on the back and if that will hold it in place. I seem to remember doing something similar to this in the past, and I had a little plastic or rubber sort of button that went on the back, and I just twisted it around the screw and it kept the handle in place. I'm gonna see if I can find one of those on Amazon. If you guys know what I'm talking about, can you drop the name of whatever that thing is in the comments? Or if you have some other hack that is gonna work better than this rubber band solution, well, let me know. This is not a permanent fix. All right, rubber band attached. It's not just about the look, it's how it feels. This is so substantial. When you hold it, you feel the weight of it. It just feels sturdier. It feels more intentional. It feels like it is meant to last, whereas this just feels kind of cheap. They are brass, so I may shine them up a little bit, but I may just leave them for now and see how I feel about them and how the oils on my fingers interact with the brass. Maybe it'll just bring out the natural patina a little bit more. Now, let's say I couldn't switch out the hardware because I don't have any. You could probably do a little rub and buff situation with these if you just want to change the color. And in terms of finding hardware, I would say try Facebook Marketplace, your local hardware store, maybe the thrift store. Where else? I know they have really cool looking options at Anthropology that are very vintage looking. There's really just a lot of options out there for you. Here are some options for upgrading hardware. As I mentioned before, for secondhand options, try Facebook Marketplace, Etsy, eBay, Poshmark, and stores that specifically source vintage and antique hardware like Old Good Things, which has a few stores in New York City and in LA. So give them a Google and see if they have some stores in your area. Liz's Antique Hardware in LA is fantastic. It has lighting, doorknobs, door knockers, switch plates, drawer pulls, just everything you can think of. I didn't get a chance to go on my last trip to California, but it's located in La Brea if you can get over there. I've sourced a lot of my knobs from Anthropology and Zara Home. Changing out your hardware is a little thing that can have a big impact. You can show your personality and have fun with your choices. I have mentioned paint a few times because how could I not talk about paint when talking about home upgrades? Paint is often the biggest bang for your home upgrade buck. Paint the walls, floors, furniture, built-in cabinets, etc. I have painted every wall in my apartment and the floor in my bathroom. While I am currently selecting new paint colors for my bedroom makeover, it is currently painted Bear's Sandstone Cove. My living room is Bear's Cornerstone, which is a creamy white with a pale yellow hue. This hallway connects my kitchen, living room, bedroom, and the hallway to the bathroom. So I painted it a color that speaks to and unites all the spaces. It's called Edgecomb Gray by Benjamin Moore. To highlight the architecture of the apartment, I painted these curves, Tricorn Black by Sherwin-Williams. This hallway is painted Chantilly Lace. I believe that is Benjamin Moore. And then the bathroom got the most paint projects. If you want to see a deep dive on how I transformed this bathroom using paint, I will link it for you, but I did do a sort of lime wash plaster look, and that's on the walls, and I also did a little project with paint on the floor to mimic tile. Before I painted the faux tiles on the floor, I laid contact paper, and then I created a stencil and used various paint colors to make this tile. All of these changes in the bathroom, the floor and the walls, were all done with paint. In my kitchen, I used peel and stick on one wall. It wasn't supposed to be an accent wall, but I didn't have enough paper to do the whole space. And sometimes when you order rolls separately, like at 2 different times, since they're not printed at the same time, there can be a little discoloration. So it didn't seem like a good use of my resources to order more paper. So I just did one wall, and then I didn't do a total color match. I wanted it to be cohesive in that it's in the same color family, but I didn't want to have it be a complete match. I thought it might be a little too dark for the space that gets almost no natural light. The color is Pecan Sandy by Bear. I did do a little more on this side, a little more of the wallpaper, just to kind of highlight the door, make that kind of a cute moment over there. And then I did a kind of fake backsplash. This is a little messy, but a little clean. I did a kind of fake backsplash over here. Just a temporary situation to make that a kind of pretty area, since unfortunately I spend a lot of time over here doing dishes, but I've done what I can to make that a more enjoyable experience for me, other than looking at like a plain white wall. I added multiple light sources in this kitchen, including, oh my God, I made that light probably like 10 years ago. It's from an old Victoria marinara sauce jar, and I just stuck an Edison bulb in it. And then I have those little stick-on lights under there just to give me a little more light. I think it's just really important in the kitchen to have good workspace lighting, which is why I switched out the light fixture, added another light here. The wallpaper is peel and stick. This is contact paper that's on top of this countertop, on top of I got this for free. And then the upgrade was that I painted it, and then I put contact paper on it. I used to have contact paper on the counters over here, but I took it off because I didn't like it. I haven't gotten around to putting the contact paper from this countertop on the other countertop, partially because I want to replace this, and it's kind of like, why bother? On the peel and stick trend, I also did peel and stick on the floor. This has been a project that I put in a few years ago. It's like a faux travertine peel and stick that I got from Home Depot. I needed something that was going to be able to withstand a lot of traffic, and this has held up pretty well. I laid it on the diagonal. Do you see how they look like diamonds, not squares? That's how I laid them, because it's supposed to give the impression of a larger space. If you're a homeowner, you just have more options when it comes to the changes that you make in your home. You can refinish your floors. You can install real hardwood. You can install real tiles instead of a peel and stick. Whether those tiles are new or reclaimed, you don't necessarily have to worry about all of these reversible upgrades. Paint is an easy, quick, and affordable way to make a change in your home. Use colors, saturation, and paint finishes to highlight elements of your home that you love, like beams or built-ins, and to minimize the things you'd like to hide, like radiators. Paint can add texture, dimension, coziness, and cleanliness to a space. It all depends on how you use it. As for wallpaper, it requires a little more skill and investment. Depending on your situation, you may be able to install traditional wallpaper where you use a paste to adhere it to the wall. That is more of a permanent upgrade. If you are a renter, not planning to be in your home for a long time, or someone who likes to change things up regularly, you'll probably want a peel and stick wallpaper and peel and stick tile if you're considering backsplash or flooring. I'll link a few of my favorites. For small wallpapering projects, try wallpapering a hallway or a ceiling, the inside of cabinets and bookshelves. Little changes like these may not require as large of an investment in time or money while making your home feel more custom. For homeowners, adding wall moldings and baseboards to your space is generally an upgrade with a good return on your investment. These details add interest, character, and value to your home. There are so many styles to choose from with varying degrees of difficulty when installing and a range in price. If you have the budget and the ability to take on this upgrade, the world is your oyster. To upgrade your baseboards, think about adding baseboard corner protectors. There are a lot of different looks to choose from, all of which will protect the corners of your baseboards while adding interest and further customizing your home. For a renter who wants to add this kind of wall treatment, you are most likely limited to removable molding, paneling, and baseboards. You can buy molding designed to be removed, or you can buy the molding you like and apply command strips to the backside of the molding before you attach it to the wall. If you are intimidated by all of the measuring required, you can purchase kits with the paneling or molding already measured and pre-cut. All you have to do is order it and assemble it. I haven't seen kits for crown molding or baseboards, but I have seen them made out of foam, which is a more affordable option than wood. This is my PSA if you are considering using the temporary molding. This is one that I got from Amazon. It's around the mirror. I ordered it. It comes in white. It comes on a roll and you just roll it out. I ended up spray painting it a brass color, and then I went over the spray paint with Rub and Buff just to give it a little more dimension, to make the 3D pieces stick out a little bit more. This is actually what the mirror that was originally in this apartment looks like. I know this because someone had their original mirror and they left it out behind the building and I took it. Unfortunately, I can't install the one that I found, and I had already DIY'd this anyway. But my PSA, my word of warning, my caution to you is, do you see how there is a gap there, or there was a gap there, and now there is white in the gap between this piece and this piece? It had separated. Now I've had this up here for maybe 2 years, maybe more. But over time, this plastic sort of rubber material shrunk. So there's a hole there, there was a hole there, and there was a hole here. I have filled them and I'll go over them with Rub and Buff, but it is something for you to know. It is a temporary product. But I do think it's important if you are considering taking this on or installing this, especially if you're trying to do it in a more permanent way, that there will be some sort of upkeep involved. And maybe cut your pieces with more than you think you're going to need. I don't think that would have helped me so much because this was pretty tight. Like I installed it and it was a lot closer together, and you can see that I had to fill in here too. So that's my word of warning for you, that it does shrink over time. But other than that, cute. These are some of my ideas for upgrading your home. It's not a complete list, and I didn't go as deep into each topic as I could have, so let me know if there's something you'd like me to revisit. This is a little different design video for me because instead of showing you a lot of images, I also showed you how I made upgrades to my space. So if you liked this video, give it a like. If you were hoping to see more California content, yes, I am working on the antiquing video, which should go up next Saturday. We are also selecting lime wash colors for Ed's bathroom makeover, and we've thrifted a light fixture and a cabinet, so we are making progress. Be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything. I'll see you next Saturday. Bye. You happy? You happy after your bath? Okay. Good girl. You want a treat?